Hello. That was Prelude and Fugue in D minor, Opus 16, number 3 by Clara Schumann. Clara lived 1819 to 1896. She got her last name from her husband, Robert Schumann, another composer, and lived a very fruitful life as a pianist, educator, and composer. There's a lot of research about Clara Schumann. She's probably not an unfamiliar name to you. So I'm going to leave that major points out, although some fun facts. Not only her father, but also her mother was a pianist. When she was a child, starting age 5, she received a 1-hour lesson per day from her father, after which she was expected to practice for 2 hours. So watch out, my children. Just kidding. That's not going to happen in our house. In any case, she was a piano virtuoso. Her playing was praised by composers, other performers, music critics of her day at the highest level. I would like to talk more about her struggles. She did have a very difficult life. She had many children. 4 of them died in childhood before her. Her husband also famously died. She lived through some wartime. It was really not an easy life. But to our purpose here, I want to read you a quote which I heard many years ago, probably decades ago, which Clara herself said. She says, "I once believed that I possessed creative talent, but I have given up this idea. A woman must not desire to compose. There has never yet been one able to do it. Should I expect to be the one?" And in addition to this, if this wasn't enough, her husband, Robert Schumann, says, to have children and a husband who's always living in the realm of imagination does not go together with composing. She cannot work at it regularly, and I am often disturbed to think how many profound ideas are lost because she cannot work them out. There's a lot to unpack there. We're not going to go into great detail, but I just want to say I think Clara's both right and wrong. It is very, very difficult to maintain a life outside of composing and a life inside of composing at the same time. However, it's possible. She did do it. She left us with many works, and also many women, partly inspired by her, I'm sure, are doing it today. I want to actually talk more about the music now. This piece that you heard, Prelude and Fugue, that form might be familiar to you. J.S. Bach famously composed 48 of them in his book, The Well-Tempered Clavier. And this piece, to me, is virtually indistinguishable from one of the pieces that Bach wrote in terms of craft and technique. It actually is even more unique and stands out in a way. She used the same theme for her prelude as she did for her fugue. This to me says that she was just bursting with ideas. One prelude was not enough for this theme. One fugue was not enough for this theme. She was going to use it both for both pieces. Also, I want to say she uses all the traditional Baroque techniques, one of them being stretto, which means she layers the theme on top of itself. You hear that towards the end of the fugue. She also does this thing called inversion, where she turns the theme upside down. You hear that in the last 10 seconds or so of the fugue. Very cool. And interestingly enough, one thing that Baroque music doesn't have, Baroque keyboard music that is dynamics. There's no indication how loud somebody is supposed to play a piece, soft, medium, whatever. And here too, she only marks that it's supposed to be soft at the beginning and then leaves the rest up open to interpretation. So some very interesting similarities between the work of J.S. Bach, which I'm sure she studied and knew quite intimately. I love to see Clara here saying, I can do this too. I can do it just as good as he did. Here's my work. So I hope you enjoyed Prelude and Fugue in D minor. Not one of the more regularly played pieces by Clara Schumann. And I will see everybody again tomorrow.